What sort of conversations or events took place in your living room?
For me, meetings. I was lucky where a lot of our family lived in Cambridge. A lot of my cousins, my father's cousins, and his brother. So every once in a while on a Saturday morning, they would all get together. And I just remember these grown men with slacks and like tucked in shirts on a Saturday doing chores, but dressed like they were going to an office, talking about politics in Haiti, local politics, and just life in general, drinking coffee or cafe au lait, and just by blood, just, jokes and anything that would come up in topic.
What I remember most of like what was happening in the living room is, funny enough, it was like a museum, a showpiece for when family and friends came over to show the accomplishments of their children. So we would we would take turns hanging up our diplomas or something. Or if we got a new porcelain or new bibelot, we would put somewhere and they would show that off, or a new couch. And I think that's what's like the highlight of what I remember happening a lot in the living room, outside of the normalcies of visiting with family and friends.
For me, because we rarely use the space, it was when family from long distance came to visit. I grew up in Florida, so my family, when they would come visit from New York or New Jersey, when they first arrived, it would be the place my parents would initially embrace them, and they'd have them sit down. They weren't allowed to eat in there, but it was like a space where it's like, oh, we're gonna accept you and we're happy that you're here. And then the family members were allowed to be there for just that time. They weren't allowed to sit there afterwards. We were back into the informal family space, but that's where I think a lot of that happened. And I would say another thing that I do agree with, I remember vividly graduation, big moments, you were allowed to sit in there. So it had to be something that was meaningful.